The journey from poverty to self-reliance begins with a single step. For the world's poor, battered by storms, oppressed by war, plagued by famine, even a single step is often impossible without someone to lean on. At World Vision, we believe that only by working hand in hand with community members can we effectively tackle the devastating impact of poverty. By working with families and communities, World Vision is committed to achieving lasting and positive change in the lives of vulnerable children. Our goal is that those in need will experience life in all its fullness. For over 50 years, we've used our proven holistic approach of long-term social, physical, and spiritual transformation to serve poor communities all over the world. It's a combination that, over time, enables a community to free itself from hardship and need. Nowhere was that need more evident than in Ethiopia's Ansokya Valley. In the mid-1980s, Ansokya, a remote pocket of mountain-ringed land, became a refuge for over 60,000 desperate, starving people.
The first time we arrived there, we saw people on the ground crying and screaming for food, for assistance. They were just looking for someone who can just lift them up, and feed them.
World Vision and the community often begin their walk together because of a crisis, as they did in Ansokya. Here, the most pressing need was physical.
We started feeding people. We were flying in airplanes, bringing food and saving lives and clothes and medical supplies because people were totally vulnerable to any kind of situation. They lost their natural resistance.
Too weak and hungry to make progress on their own, the people of Ansokya leaned on World Vision to help them take that first step towards transformation. By addressing people's urgent physical needs, we gained the trust of the community. By living out our faith, we helped set the stage for future development. Once their urgent relief needs were met, World Vision and the people of Ansokya were ready to take the next step in their journey toward transformation, solving their water crisis.
Ansokya Valley was called Valley of Dusty Bowl because the only thing you can see is the dust is blowing into the air, into the sky. It was totally dry.
In communities that lack access to clean water, the most vulnerable, like children, fall prey to diarrhea, parasites, and often death. Gaining access to clean water and improving sanitation can cut child death rates in half. In Ansokya, a river of cool, clean, liquid relief ran just below the surface.
Well, the problem in Ansokya was there was no rainfall, and that's what led to the famine and the drought. But our staff were able to find that there was plentiful water right underneath the ground in the aquifer, and we were able to tap into that.
World Vision often helps communities in their physical transformation by drilling wells and accessing clean water sources. But to be truly effective, clean water must be combined with health and hygiene. World Vision's health programs include prenatal care, children's vaccinations, nutritional training for health workers and parents, and HIV/AIDS awareness and counseling through our HOPE initiative. In Northern Africa, the Sahara Desert is creeping southward at a rate of 4 miles per year. In areas like this, secure, year-round sources of food are vital to keeping vulnerable families alive and healthy. Where the environment has been damaged by weather or misuse, World Vision works to provide natural, viable, and productive solutions. In Ansokya, the soil was rich, full of nutrients, and blowing away.
World Vision literally planted millions of seedlings in and around the Ansokya Valley. We used 42 different varieties of trees, and some of those provided fruit, some of them provided firewood, but more importantly, the root system stabilized the soil.
By providing seeds, tools, and training in agriculture and livestock management, World Vision helps communities to increase their production of meats, vegetables, and grains for healthy diets. Educating children and families is critical for the future of a community. When children are healthy and families secure, for instance, kids are free to return to school. World Vision helps both children and their parents learn to read. Working with community members, World Vision helps communities build their own schools and provide their own teachers. When hardworking families increase and better manage their household incomes, the entire community is strengthened. Microenterprise programs lend money to poor people with little but the skills and desire to start businesses of their own. Those loans are then repaid to a revolving fund, which lends them out again to other families. Small loans and business training will help sustain the group long after World Vision has moved on to serve another community. While physical needs are being met, social transformation is taking place as well. Beginning with the first handshake, World Vision becomes a community's partner on the road to self-reliance. Regardless of whether we enter a community because of a disaster or just an overwhelming need, our first priority is always establishing relationships and building trust. Community participation is at the heart of every World Vision program. Local leaders and groups are encouraged to rally people together to take part in early activities. A well drilling project, for example, is an excellent opportunity to mobilize a community. This high visibility, high impact project helps generate excitement and hope that can carry through to the work that follows.
We ask villagers, how can we help you?
Community members assess their own needs and priorities. They develop a plan of action and decide on a budget. World Vision encourages traditional leaders to involve women and youth in this process. The positive effects often carry over into the other parts of their lives as well. Once a community has decided where they want to go, they begin designing practical steps to take them there. These may include health, educational, or agricultural activities. World Vision works side by side with the community as they craft their own vision of the future.
As we work in a village, we are sensitive to the cultural activities of the people. We do not introduce any crops or techniques that the community is not willing to accept.
In Ansokia, villagers and agriculturalists initially differed on what crops to plant. A compromise revived the region's nutrient-depleted soil, while still satisfying the community's traditional diet and needs. The final step in a community's social transformation marks the first step in their quest for independent, self-sustaining progress. By helping to identify the problems and being involved in the solutions, community members become productive partners and move from poverty to abundance.
At the eventual analysis, the community will say, this is my project, this is my development program, I own this program from the start, from the very beginning, throughout the time.
Throughout the entire development process, a community gains confidence as they begin to see success. Woven into all our work is a quieter, though often more dramatic transformation, a spiritual transformation. Along with meeting their physical needs, the people of Ansokia desperately needed a healing of the spirit.
We need to be able to restore their whole being, because the first time they started, they totally forgot themselves. They lost their dignity. They lost their self-respect.
The spiritual transformation of those in need often begins by observing the quiet witness of our staff. In countries where it is illegal to share our faith, we let the excellence of our work speak for us. Our work prompts community members to ask why we help them. When it's appropriate, we speak about our faith in ways that are relevant to those who hear it. As living conditions improve, trust grows, faith increases, and the community sees God's answers to prayer. When a community thrives, faith can become a beacon to surrounding communities. Although every journey has its detours, every road its potholes, World Vision helps communities read the signs that lead to social, physical, and spiritual transformation. Because our commitment is long-term, we have ample time to demonstrate our awareness of God's love and His ability to transform lives.
World Vision brought so many things to Ansokia. agricultural development, education, building new schools, clean water for the children to drink, economic opportunity through microfinance, and more importantly, self-sufficiency. We have to remember that just a few years ago, this was a place of death, where each morning the children who died the day before were buried, and today it's a place of life.
Today, the Ansokya Valley is lush and productive, while other parts of Africa still reel from the effects of food shortages and droughts. It stands as a model of sustainable, transforming development to other communities. From desperation and despair to health, hope, and happiness. For Abdullah Usman, the dramatic change is nothing less than miraculous.
When I started talking about that, my tears started coming out. When I see people moving around so energetically, and the environment so green, like I said, Garden of Eden, it's a great joy in my life that the Lord is so faithful.